have showed to be a sleeping giant over the years, securing Europa League qualification at times. But with the arrival of Vincent Kompany post-relegation in 2022, the stigma of Burnley being a Brexit team full of older players has been completely turned upside down, and the Clarets have gone with a younger approach and earned promotion back to the Premier League. But here's why I think they'll go straight back down. So far Burnley have been very active in the transfer market. So far they have bought in more players than any other team in the league. However, an issue so far with their window is that they lack signings with experience at a Premier League level. Nathan Redmond is the only signing with any Premier League appearances. It is clear Burnley are trying to rebuild the squad to be far younger than recent years, but sometimes what you need to survive in the Premier League is a group of players who know how the leagues work and know how to perform well, as opposed to a group of young players who have only ever played in small reputation leagues in Europe, such as Zeki Amdouni. Dara O'Shea and James Trafford and Lawrence Viguru have all been signed from clubs from lower leagues in England, and Koliasho has never made over 10 pro appearance. Jakob Brun Larsen here is the only reasonable signing. Another issue is the transfer budget. Despite the money from promotion being huge at times for clubs in recent years, the rise in the cost of players in the football market today make it increasingly difficult to sign players of the quality that Burnley need. It is probably a subjective point to make, but in my opinion Burnley's squad on paper is the weakest of all teams bar Luton and Sheffield United. So many of the squad is not Premier League level, and this season it will show. I'd argue only around 3 or 4 players are actually good enough to play in the Premier League, and without trying to slag the whole club off, I think Burnley are on the verge of becoming a team that is too good for the Championship but not good enough for the Premier League. Similarly to this, the squad depth is an issue for Burnley, and despite the signings they have made, it is a very competitive league and it is vital for teams to have depth, which Burnley lack right now. They have one of the smallest squads in the league. Strength in depth will be an issue for all promoted teams this season, but with Burnley being the Championship champions, they should make sure they have depth in all areas of the pitch so actually be competitive in the league this season. These challenging matches have tested the team's resilience and exposed weaknesses in their gameplay. Burnley's squad has been plagued by a lack of depth, leading to fatigue and injuries. With a demanding Premier League schedule, their limited options for rotation have affected their performances on the pitch. Potentially the biggest issue that Burnley face is a lack of a prolific goalscorer. Scoring goals has been a persistent issue for Burnley. Their strike force has struggled to find the back of the net consistently, putting immense pressure on their defense to keep clean sheets. Nathan Tella looks to be staying at Southampton this season, which eliminate a huge source of goals for the Clarets, and January signing Leon Foster scored no more than 3 goals in the second half of the season and is clearly not destined to score in the Premier League. Another striker, Michael Obafemi, suffered an injury and will be absent for a large part of the beginning of the season. Jay Rodriguez has been class in his prime years but is probably past it at the age of 34 now and barely managed 10 goals last season before dropping off near the end of the campaign. The last remaining striker is Wout Weghorst, who not only was very poor on loan at Manchester United, but also there are huge doubts surrounding him and whether he will even play for the club by the time the Premier League season is in full flow. Despite Vincent Kompany having a cracker of a debut season with Burnley as he won the league and only lost a few games, the young Belgian manager remains very inexperienced and will coach in the Premier League for the first time. There is immense expectations for the bloke, and even if Burnley end up doing a great job, they could be faced with other clubs snatching him up due to his age and his potential in the game. The pressure of the relegation battle can create a tense atmosphere within the squad, affecting player morale and performance levels. Burnley fans have been passionate supporters of their team, but the fear of relegation can add to the pressure, making the atmosphere at home matches tense and less conducive to positive results, leading to huge disappointment. In conclusion, I think Burnley be relegated from the Premier League back down to the Championship, and there we go. I hope you all enjoyed. Please subscribe. Thank you and bye.